Hello students, myself R.K.Mishra. This is very important video for class 9th student because of having the very important and essential topics, a bunch of topic actually available in the video. So be careful and watch the video till the end along with the notes. Your notes should be directional, your notes should be parallel along with the video in order to enhance the properties of notes. Keep in mind. So this video includes the features, roles and features of water, source of water, water pollution and water cycle. The 5 topics will be covered in the video lecture, so be careful and be silent. First point is the role and features of water. First heading should be the role and features of water. Water, as you all know, is an universal solvent. Water is an universal solvent that has capacity to dissolve the substances in order to make the absorption process very easily. Not only in human being, water is essential for plants as well as the other living being. So water is universal solvent, and due to this property, water is essential for all. Keep in mind, without water, we cannot assume our body. In ancient myth, our body is made up by 5 kinds of substances and water is one of them. कौन-कौन से substances की बात की गई थी? पृथ्वी, आकाश, वायु, जल, अग्नि. ये 5 जो components है जिससे हमारी body को assume किया गया था, and water उसमें से बहुत important है. So water is one of the major important part of our body, and our body cannot assume without water. So water is an essential parts of our body. Water formed in our body by means of byproducts during several metabolic activities. Which kinds of metabolic activities form water in our body? The respiration, that earlier described by me in different other video lectures. So water is essential for our body, and water is essential part of our body. Water form in our body, and the remaining water or the excess water get eliminated out by means of sweat, by means of urine, and later our body required further and fresh water. So fresh water by means of drinkable water are day by day get reducing by means of overconsumption. So save water and save life is your slogan, and it should be the slogan of world. So day by day, that is, first of all, you need to know the types of water, the drinkable and non-drinkable water. The non-drinkable water may be salty water, and the salty water is known as saline water. It should be noted down. The salty water is non-drinkable. You cannot directly drink the salty water or saline water. The amount of fresh water is very less. The fresh water, the drinkable water are very less in amount, which day by day get reduced. So in order to overcome the problem of drinking water, you need to consume the water, you need to save the water and consume water very significantly, not much and not abundant. So water, lot of water available in our earth. 97% of the earth's surface occupied by the water. but that water mostly in form of saline water or the salt water. The groundwater actually consists the drinkable water. So drinkable water mostly available in groundwater. That available in groundwater. The source of drinkable water is groundwater. Rainwater may be in form of the different kinds of water source. The source of water that store the rainwater may be the pond, puddle, lake. The source of rainwater may be the pond, puddle, lake, river, ocean, etc. These source of water actually act as the storage of water. That also done by you in order to prevent the excess loss of water that actually get polluted after mixing with the sewage or after mixing with the stored water elsewhere. But when you store the water at your home through the groundwater recharge, then the groundwater in your locality will become abundant and there will be no scarcity of water. Many part of our India and other world get suffer with the water scarcity, and that is the major problems may comes in our society also, in our locality also, but it may take too longer time because of having the good rain and because of having the good rainwater harvesting ability in our colony, in our society. So rainwater harvesting is the good property in order to store the water. I hope your concept regarding the source of water and role of water is clear. Water also available inside the ground, at the surface of water and over the atmosphere in form of the water vapor. Everything is available. So water available in three part of our earth environment. Inside the water, inside the earth in form of the groundwater, over the surface of water in form of the surface flowing water in form of the pond, puddle, lake, river, ocean, estuaries, etc. And above the surface of earth, the water in form of water vapor that are flow throughout the sky and that form rain in particular place whether the weather condition are favorable. So everything regarding the 2 points, that is the source of water and features of water, is over. Now back to the water pollution. Now the water pollution. Water pollution may be defined as the undesirable changes in physical, chemical and biological properties of water that affects to human and other organisms, The undesirable, which you do not need, which you not do by, which you never want, that will be the undesirable. आप नहीं चाहते हैं तो undesirable है, न चाहते हुए भी कभी कभी आपसे गलती हो जाती है और चीजें polluted हो जाती है, ठीक है. So the undesirable change in physical property means the pure water should be colorless, odorless and tasteless. If the water has a taste, water is polluted. If water has a color, the water polluted. If water has any kinds of odor, the water should be polluted. Waters are totally polluted. So water, the physical property, chemical property, the pure water formula is H2O. If the formula get altered, there will be polluted water. Biological property, every water is favorable for the growth of living organisms as well as the human being. If they are not drinkable, if they are having any kinds of microorganisms, then there will be problems in water, and that water are said to be biological abnormality and polluted water. So every part is clear. In previous few video lecture, if you are having a video of pollution, then your concept regarding the pollution is clear. regarding the water, air and everything is clear, but you need to know what are the definition as according to pollution. Definition of water as according to pollution will be as usual. Now back to the source of water pollution. Source of water pollution. What caused water pollution in our surrounding? Actually the industrial waste, domestic waste, agricultural waste are the three kinds of source of water pollution. Industrial waste directly discharge the pollutants to the river, to the any kinds of lake or pond, and the water of lake, pond or river get affected. You are having many example regarding the water pollution through industry. Yamuna river is suffering with the pollution, suffering with the different kinds of pollutants, industrial pollutants as well as the municipal pollutants. There will be the problems for the problem of worry for our country. And Yamuna flow near to the major capital, near to the major cities like Delhi and Mathura. So many kinds of problems appeared with the water get polluted. Later I will be describing, but the key source of water pollution is industrial, domestic and agricultural. How do domestic? Many kinds of domestic wastes like the garbages of our kitchen, garbages of our clothes like detergents, oil, etc. get released out through me and through you, which directly mix with the water and affect to the aquatic living organisms as well as the plant's body, which directly or indirectly affect you too. But keep in mind the domestic waste is directly proportional to your fault. So keep in mind, never discharge the domestic waste directly to the water body that are open type. Agricultural waste. What is agricultural waste? Many farmers use insecticides, pesticides and other chemicals to the agro farming, and through the rain or through different kinds of running water, the agrochemicals, maybe organic or inorganic, the agrochemicals, harmful agrochemicals like DDT and many more flow from the land to the mix with the other source of water, maybe the river, pond or puddle, and the river, pond or puddle get polluted by means of agricultural practices. So I hope your concept regarding the industrial, domestic and agricultural waste is clear. You should write about the half page regarding these points: the industrial, domestic and agricultural waste, how the industrial, how the domestic and how the agricultural waste responsible for water pollution in our society. Now back to the effects of water pollution in our life. First part is biological magnification, or in short biomagnification. What is biomagnification? Listen carefully. What is biomagnification? The accumulation and increase of inorganic and organic, harmful or toxic substances throughout ecosystem known as the biological magnification. For example, a farmer if use DDT, then the DDT is toxic substance for us. Then DDT mix up with the pond and they will consume by the DDT, now consumed by the fishes, and fishes utilized by human being by means of the food. Then the DDT from the land, from the agro practices will come directly to the dinner plate. That's why our body get affected. So biological magnification is accumulation and enhancing the toxic substances from one part of ecosystem to another part. Next is the BOD, that is basic problems of water body for the water pollution. BOD is also known as biochemical oxygen demand. If there is regular discharge of nutrients in the water, then what happens? The microbes grow rapidly in the water body, which consume the oxygen from the water, and the loss of oxygen in the water body causes biological oxygen demand. Means what is biological oxygen demand? The loss of oxygen in water body. The loss of oxygen in water body, the problems is known as BOD, and BOD causes the death of aquatic animals as well as the plants. Third one is direct or indirect effect. Direct or indirect effect to the human being. When the biological magnification or BOD get created by the water body, our body as well as the other human population get affected. That's why you can define many problems, many hazards that appears that remain prolonged in our society and that appears immediately after the water get polluted. So these are the different way to define the water pollution causes and effects. Your homework is to reduce the water pollution. What are the methods to reduce the water pollution? It is your homework as a heading, the prevention of water pollution. As you all know, water before discharge in water body need to treated in sewage treatment plants. The sewage treatment plant, as you all aware with the different kinds of models, different kinds of the project in the different kinds of science exhibition, that is known as the STP, popularly known as STP, and you are well familiar with the word sewage treatment plant that actually filter the discharge, filter the domestic as well as the industrial products, industrial waste material in different way, in different steps, and that required to install every part of our country as well as the every part of our world, in the local area, in the community level, or at the municipal level. So these are very important terms regarding the water pollution. I hope your concept regarding the water pollution and their pollutants as well as the effect is clear. Now back to the water cycle. Water cycle, listen. Water cycle in your syllabus in class 9th available as a biogeochemical cycle, means the substances that travel their journey from one part of our ecosystem to another part, there will be a cycle, and that cycle may be the different kinds of gaseous cycle and also for the water cycle. I will describe you the definition of water cycle. First of all, you need to know water cycle, and any kinds of cycle is very easy to understand. The movements and production, accumulation and production of any substances from one part of our ecosystem to another part is known as the water cycle. Maybe the gaseous carbon cycle, maybe the gaseous sulfur cycle, or anywhere in anything that can accumulate from one part of our ecosystem to another part form a cycle. So how can we define the water cycle? Production and accumulation of water from one part of our ecosystem, to another part called water cycle. So what is the accumulation movements as I move from one area of the display to another area, or from one area of blackboard to another area, there will be the accumulation. So water able to move from one part of our ecosystem to another part. How? Listen carefully. Suppose that this one is the source of water, this may be the pond, puddle, river, lake, ocean, etc. ये कुछ भी हो सकता है, ठीक है? After the heating effect, the water get evaporized. The water get evaporized and move into the sky. And then sky form rain, and rain fall down, which will later move to the ocean, lake, pond, puddle, etc. So this form the cycle. Now the surface flowing water get utilized get absorbed into the groundwater. That form the groundwater. And groundwater later utilized by the plants, by the human being, and by the other organisms. Then the plants and human being, by means of the respiration C6H12O6 plus 6 molecule of oxygen form 6 CO2 plus 6 H2O plus energy. Then these 6 H2O either excrete or get evaporated and move into the sky. That is the way to define how water accumulates from one part of our ecosystem to another part. Very easy to understand. Your concept is clear. This water, the rain water, when fall into the ground or fall on earth, may available in form of snow, may be available in form of the glaciers, but after melting of snow or glacier, they will further form the water in form of the ocean, sea, or any kinds of water source. I hope your concept regarding the water features, the water pollution, water cycle is clear. Every part of water and their related terminology is clear in this video lecture. If you have any problems, then make the summary or list of the problem. I will discuss you with the problems on next live classes. Thank you.